Colin Brennan here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's Bloodstock 2022 reaction time as we are checking out a band on the new Blood stage. It is Drip Fed Empire, playing under Sunday. Randomly choosing this band, mainly based upon what was written in the Bloodstock blurb on the website, which is equally fascinating and equally terrifying. So I'm going to read it so you kind of get where I'm coming from. Drip Fed Empire produces genre-bending dystopian themed music. Cool. The four-piece offer a unique high-injury live performance with a dark military aesthetic. Interesting. Combining elements of drum and bass, industrial, new metal, post-hardcore, and metalcore. What? That's a lot. That's a lot of things there. Some of it ain't really for me either. Drum and bass, new metal, Then you get to notable influences include Prodigy, Rammstein, Wargasm, Bring Me the Horizon, to name a few. And they've been compared to Rage Against the Machine. And it's like, what is this band? But with more synths. And enter Shikari due to the political nature of the lyrics combined with electronica metal sound. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff going on here. And it's kind of made me both equally interested, but also equally kind of horror movie style. Give me a cushion to hide behind, because I'm thinking that's a lot of shit going on, and it could just be a mess.
Yeah, it sounds like a mess.
It does. The song I'm going to check out is Disinformation. So let's say no more. Let's press play and see what we think. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Detached reality, latched in the cage, we can't see the bars. Black mentality, the nuclear family, the rise, dilate from programs, sterilized.
Addiction spreads across all the nation.
Mushroom head.
Left insecure from false information. Desperately, we need some salvation.
This is a world of disinformation.
Oh my God!
There's a world of disinformation. There's a world of disinformation. Globalizing it, they won't go away. Totalitarian powers reign.
Where that comes from? Holy shit.
Data flow, suppress, and divert.
Commercialized identity, government, censorship, digital, propaganda wars, suppress and divert. There's a world of disinformation. There's a world of disinformation. Losing neural pathways. Fusing neural pathways. Molded in the cybertrap rat race. Frontal control. Make it all of being so. Your life is being controlled.
Color tactics, secret laws, general public, uninformed, intercept, data flow, suppress, and divert.
Commercialized identity, government, censorship, digital, propaganda wars, suppress and divert. Attention to the watch and the of aggression.
Obviously. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. Thought we were going to get Blur there.
As I say, you might still. Dude, that thing's expensive.
Those are expensive.
I hope it was fake.
I don't even know where to begin with that. Oh my God. I mean, it was what we suggested at the start. There is a lot fucking going on. And I'll praise it completely for this. It will stop people in their tracks. It stopped me momentarily. I laughed during the video. That isn't me laughing at the band. That is laughing at me, but simply laughing at myself for the fact that I'm generally going, what the fuck is going on here? Because a lot of the elements are all right up my street. The heavy post-hardcore sound. I love that. I enjoy it thoroughly. And I think the Dripfed Empire are doing it very, very well. And here's the thing. I think they've done a good job to layer and complement all these industrial elements and electronica stuff into a track to make it coherent. At times, though, fucking hell, did I find it incredibly jarring and almost like, why? Why is that there? Is that just because you have the decks? You know? I'm really torn in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm torn or not. There were bits I really like, the bits I really don't. Paul drama was really good. I'm like, I like what I like, man. That's really all it is. I think it's cool that they're at Bloodstock. I think, in a way, maybe because they're not like a massive band.
Yeah.
In a way, it's almost like this is the sort of band that if they're a big band and they like manage to get like on the Sophie stage or anything like that, people kick off about. Fair not saying they should, but the gatekeepers and all that, will be kicking off.
Yeah, of course.
So it's kind of cool, like that they're going to kind of be there and hopefully get a bit of a show and encourage people in, without having to, I hope, go for any of the negativity around it, and shock the fuck out of some people. So that's really, really cool. I think everything that they did very, very well. Other than their massive overuse of water. It's completely unnecessary. Fucking climate emergency, guys, come on. But aside from that, and breaking your decks, I would love that the video kind of ends and everyone turns around to him like off camera and they're like, dude, what the fuck, man? It costs like 800 quid. We'll have to pay the studio for that now. And look at all the water damage. But I didn't mind the kind of rap vocals. I quite liked the lyrical content. I didn't get all of it, but I liked what I got. And it wasn't that he wasn't clear, because he was very clear.
Yeah.
Mostly aside from the heavier parts of it. It was just that actually there were so many other elements going off that sometimes I found myself diverted from the lyrics and listening to, an effect or something like that instead. Yeah. It's odd. For me, it's odd because it blends a lot of genres that I'm not a particular fan of. And that's the problem. I felt like at the end of it, when it kind of got into the heavier, building up to a breakdown sort of stuff, I was really enjoying that then, because I was getting kind of like in proper industrial metal Fear Factory sort of vibe. I was like, oh shit, it's got that kind of like machine like riffing tone to it. It's really, really cool. The negatives I have is just that it is obviously designed and meant to be quite sample and effect heavy. That's what it's meant to be. Yeah. And that's not like a regular kind of a thing that I love. That's not a thing I love in metal. It's not. I love industrial metal, but I like it on the Fear Factory sort of end of it, where it kind of is, the focus is mostly the drums and guitars and vocals, and then sampling and effects are used, I guess, more often as a layer in the background rather than right in the forefront where everyone sort of stops to hear it kind of going off. So yeah, it's not my favorite thing because of that. I also felt that even though it's just under 4 minutes long, about the halfway mark, I felt like the rhythms and the riffs and the beats were actually getting quite repetitive by that point. Like it felt like a loop, like I was looping back to, I'm only 2 minutes in here, and I've already feel like I've heard this all now. But like, this is the thing, like, I don't hate it. That's the weird thing, because like if somebody says to me, we're going to take like this post-hardcore sound and then we're going to chuck a load of effects at it and a little bit of rap and then cover them in water, and you've got to see what you think. In my head, I'm like, this is close to my worst fucking nightmare. Oh my God. And so I went into this, I guess, with the bar, like, my expectations down low. Yeah. And they definitely surpassed them because I enjoyed it to a point. That's the thing. It was like, that was okay. I got no problem. I don't know if if there's enough in that makes me want to be like, oh, I want to know more about this band. I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to know more or if I want to run. That's the thing, and I guess that's quite interesting in itself. I would quite like to see that live or see some of them live, because that's obviously sometimes the biggest telling point. You know, like how does it sound live? How do they pull that same sort of feeling and that deep sort of effects and all that off live?
Yeah,
it could be really good. I'm just not sure. I'm unsure.
On the fence. Yeah, no, I completely get it. It's everything you said makes complete sense to me. It's interesting you talked about the length as well, because I actually noticed the same thing. A little bit longer than you. I think I had about a minute left, and I was like, oh, it's a minute left, and I was like, shit, am I getting a little bored here? So definitely crop and nab. But one of the things I kind of wrote down as I'm, as I'm going along, and one of the things that keeps sticking, and it kind of ties to what you're saying, is I do think this does have live wide appeal. I think this appeals to not necessarily a certain age group, but certainly a certain type within an age group that I kind of picture. And I'm thinking, okay, I could see Dan liking this a lot, and like, it potentially having quite a big kind of pit, particularly in the breakdown sections and stuff like that, and it being quite a kind of violent and nasty looking thing. Similar to you, I would be intrigued to watch at least a bit of this just to see how all of that stuff applies in the live sort of stage. And the thing about the New Blood stage is, to get a proper sound, you can't be standing just by that entrance. You got to go in, man. You got to go in past the sound deck and you'll hear it and stuff like that. I'd be very surprised if the New Blood isn't quite packed out for them, because unlike a lot of bands in New Blood, like this video here has 13,579 views since the time of recording. That's really fucking high. That's really high. That suggests to me that this band has a popularity already. So I'm beginning to think that maybe we've missed something here, and that it's got a much wider appeal than we're expecting.
Yeah, it's just about where that appeal sits, isn't it? That's the thing. Like, I'm genuinely not being like gatekeeper or anything here. I am so happy that bands like this come along to Bloodstock, just like I am when other metalcore bands and all that, even if I'm not a fan of it, because I think you need to shake us old fuckers up every now and then. And I'm completely all right with being proved wrong. I'm all right with all that sort of stuff. You know, we always talk about this. It's totally cool, man. Come prove me wrong. Come shake shit up, man. Well, none of us want to be at a festival where we do nothing but thrash and death metal, like the band from 30 years ago only. So these, other bands coming along and shaking shit up is fucking awesome, whether I like it or not. But when you get 13,000 views in that style of music, are these 13,000 Bloodstock goer sort of people, or are these? Fair. I'm not saying that they're not. It might be a mix of all of it, but like, is this like? I don't know, man. Is this like a slam dunky kind of band? I can see this band like playing at slam dunk and going down a fucking tree. Yeah. But like I said, like what for a person who hates this style of music, I come out of that with at least enough intrigue to be like, okay, they got something different going on here. It's quite interesting. Not sure. So yeah, hopefully I get to see. It might not be the song. I don't even know if this is like a big hit for them or not. But whatever it is, to see a couple of these songs live and see. Because I guess the only final thing I will say on this is, right, it happens in industrial metal, even to bands like Fear Factory, is that to keep variety within, say, an album is quite difficult sometimes. Because your industrial edge means that you play your riffs a certain way, you have a certain tone, and you do that over a song, a one-off song like that, and it's like, okay, you pique my interest. You do that style over 10 tracks. So often what a band will have to do is they will have to play around with it, and you may have songs that drop some of the effect stuff to go on the heavier side, and you may have songs that drop some of the heavier stuff to go on the more effect side across an album. Otherwise, you're just doing the same shit over and over again. It'd be quite interesting to see how they perform live and like what else they have, like what else they got in their armory,
You're well said. I think it's created enough intrigue to be a potential watch at Bloodstock. What do you reckon? Is this a band you love? Is it a band you want to check out Bloodstock this year? Do you sit in the fence like we do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?